Alright guys, if you're watching this video, it means you somehow convinced your significant other to let you buy car parts. So today we're going to be showing you how to install the GR Corolla front splitter, side skirts, and rear spat kit. Let's get to it. Alright, so we're going to start out by removing all the 10mm bolts underneath here so we can get access to this under tray. Get a close up of this one. Make sure you don't forget about the 4 silver ones at the back. And then there's also 2 more. Then there's going to be 1 central body clip to remove. Now we're going to be popping out each of these white clips. To do that, you just squeeze them on the side and push them through. We're just going to drill these holes out very slightly. The size is 11/32, or you can just use a stepper bit. So now I'm going to show you how to use the DIY tool. You can make one yourself by getting an M8x45 bolt and an M10 nut. And then they just go together like this. You thread this into the plus nut. And then this is really important. Make sure you put the washer with the larger holes on the back side of the plus nut. All right, so then you want to grab a 14mm wrench or whichever wrench fits on the nut, and a 13mm socket. And then all you want to do is hold the washer with the backside and tighten this. So you want to tighten it until those prongs spread out like a plus, hence the plus nut. And then we can just unthread this. And then there you go, it's a fully installed plus nut. Now we're just going to go ahead and repeat the same process for all these plus nuts. With all the plus nuts in, we're going to reinstall this panel now. So when we reinstall all the bolts, we're going to do all of them except for the ones that go into the plus nuts, obviously, because that will be where we mount our splitter. Now I like to just peel back only over the bolt hole, just so we can protect the splitter while we're handling it. With the peel film pulled back, we're going to use the M8x45 bolts and washer. Pop it through the hole. Once you have a couple threads in, you can just leave it loose and go to the next one. So once we have a couple bolts in, we can peel the back now. And then we're going to be using the OEM screw in this back location. So with 2 central bolts and then the 2 back bolts, now we can go ahead and peel the rest of it. So now we're going to install the other 2 front ones, and then we can go ahead and tighten everything down. It's best to tighten these by hand. It's not very easy if you use your feet. All right, with these 4 tight and the 2 back ones tight, now we can go ahead using a 5/16 drill bit to drill out the last 2 holes. And repeat the process on this side. So for the last 2 bolts per side, we're going to use the supplied M8x30s with the washer on the bolt side. And then you're going to put 1 more washer on the inside of the bumper, followed by the nut. Tighten with a 13mm on both sides. You can repeat this process on the other side. And then the last step is you can reinstall the OEM screws, so there's going to be 2 per side. And there's 1 in this convenient cutout. If you did it correctly, you should have 4 screws remaining, and these are the 4 that we replaced with the plus nuts in the front. With the splitter installed, now we're going to move on to the side skirts. For the side skirts, we're going to be using the OEM screw at the back to help line everything up. So the first thing we're going to do, grab a 10mm, we're just going to remove this screw. Alright, now we can install the OEM screw. That will help us line everything else up. With the rear mounted, now we can pivot the side skirt and pull it right up against this flat panel right here. And this will help us line everything else up for the rest of the skirt. So again, you just want to hold it up to that plastic panel, and then you can start threading in the screws. Usually we like to put a couple just to hold the position, and then we go one end to the other. Be careful not to over tighten these. All right, we got all the screws in this side. Now we're gonna go to the other side and finish it up. All right, so with the splitter and skirts installed, now we're gonna do the rear spats. This process is gonna be very similar to the front splitter where we use the plus nuts. So you're gonna wanna start by removing all the body clips under here. and then we're gonna line this up. Just like the splitter, we're gonna drill this hole out to 11-30 seconds before we put this in. The only difference is that this one doesn't need a washer on the inside since it doesn't experience nearly as much load as the front splitter. So with all the plus nuts installed, we're gonna grab our last few M8x30 bolts with a washer, line up the holes to our plus nuts, and then we'll just thread these in. With that threaded in, we're just gonna repeat these for the rest of the holes, and then your rear spat install is complete. All right guys, so that concludes the install. Be sure to contact us if you have any questions. Other than that, enjoy your kit. If you're watching this, it means you've convinced your sick. All right, guys. No, shut your mouth. All right, now we're gonna be popping out E to the A. That's fucking perfect. I don't know what size I used. You want to hold the 10mm. Oh, it's not right.
Say it.
Okay. Should I like come up from behind it?
That'd be funny.
It's good practice to just start these with a ratchet. Kind of avoid some of the difficulties. Fucking mine.
Have you seen the Joker?
Yeah, the Joker sucks.
She was awful.
I think everybody was awful on that though. At 30 with the, yeah. Okay. Oh God.
No.
Took a good hard look at her personality.
Two of them.
Yeah, two personalities. Okay.
You have two sets of good personalities.
All right, so with this